Hardcore World of Warcraft is a sadistic experience. But I like it. If you're here, you probably already know what it's all about. It's WoW Classic, but if you die once, your character is gone forever. Worst yet, no auction house, no grouping with high-level characters, and no mailing golden items. It is a brutal, scary, and lonely experience. But when you get to 60, you become an immortal. Now I want to get to 60, but I actually have no idea if I can do it at all. So here's episode 2 of Hardcore 64. Hey guys, welcome back. And for all of you who've subscribed or watched the last video, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Now we're at level 10. And as you probably know, level 10 means we get to start picking talents. And before I do that, I feel like I have to come clean about something. I need to get something off my chest with you guys before it's too late, because eventually you guys are going to notice. You guys are all going to know this about me, whether I say it or not. So I'm just going to get this off, just let you know, I am a filthy casual player. I know! Don't leave! Don't leave! Where are you going? Don't boo! Don't boo! You should idolize me! And I've been playing this game for 20 years. I've been playing it since 2005. God damn, 20 years. But endgame is just not my thing. PvP is just not my thing. Raids are just not my thing. What I really like doing is leveling. My favorite thing about World of Warcraft is the world of Warcraft. Once I get my epic mount, I kind of lose interest in the rest of the game. And the reason I need to tell you this is, I'm speccing survival. Don't leave! Don't leave! I'm brave! I'm a brave individual! Where are you going? If you don't know, there are 3 specs for Hunter, and that is Marksmanship, Beast Mastery, and Survival. And I'm pretty sure the consensus around this is, and I'm no Hunter main, I've never made a Hunter past level like 30. The consensus is Marksmanship is the best, Beastmaster is pretty damn good, but not quite as good as Marksmanship, and Survival is almost useless. Marksmanship is for your bow and arrow and your gun and improves your shots. Beastmaster improves your pet's power, and Survival is kind of like melee combat and tankiness. And because you almost never use your melee abilities, it's just by far the worst spec. But we're doing hardcore, so surviving is actually all we have to do, right? Let's take a quick look at the talent tree for Survival. First off, there are 2 changes made to the Survival talent tree on Turtle WoW. First is there's a new talent called Superior Strikes that reduces the cooldown of your Raptor Strike and Mongoose Bite, but we're not going to take that. The second one is that they've combined Monster Slaying and Humanoid Slaying into a single talent, which actually makes it pretty damn good. There are 4 abilities in the Survival tree that I do think make it kind of worthwhile. The first thing is you get a 5% increased chance to parry, which, as we talked about with that dodge percentage, can actually be pretty huge. Then the next one is an improved Feign Death, which will give you an increased 4% chance to have your Feign Death effect work, so reduce their resistance to it. Then there's also the Survivalist ability, which will give you 10% increased health. And then finally, there's Deterrence. And Deterrence is an ability that temporarily gives you a 25% chance to dodge and parry. So with those 4 abilities, they could be the difference between life and death when you need them most. And honestly, maybe it's not the right thing to do, but I actually did an Orc Hunter not that long ago, and I already did Marksmanship with him, and I kind of wanted to do something more fun, so I went with Survival. Alright, let's go to level 10. First thing at level 10 is we are going to put that point into parry. Get over it, okay? Then we're going to head back to Dunmurrow so we can get the new Hunter ability to have a pet! On the way there, we are going to kill a lot of boars. I mean a lot of boars. I mean a lot of boars. I mean infinite boars. An endless cascade of never-ending boars. Okay, it was like 10. When we get to the Hunter Trainer, we are going to get Aspect of the Hawk, Serpent Sting, and track humanoids. Track humanoids probably going to be very rarely useful, but Aspect of the Hawk is going to be great. And now we get to actually see the Gnome Hunter quest, which I think because it's a Turtle exclusive, there's no Gnome Hunters on the other servers that I know about. I think we should check this out.
I'm Clover Spin Pistol, Mountaineer and Sniper. We may be good shots, but unfortunately, us little folk aren't too suited for close combat. No worries though, you just need to have a beast take the hits for you.
How very accurate.
Tinkertown's best and brightest recently made an
I hate doing this. I hate doing this voice. I'm sorry I'm subjecting it to you. You know, can I just tell you something? I heard recently, one of my friends, my buddy TC, has been playing with this guy, Designer Dave, who's apparently a writer for a classic WoW, and he hates the gnomes. And listen, I don't like the gnomes either. I would never have made a gnome by choice, in full honesty. If I didn't roll it, never, ever making a gnome and taking that seriously. Apparently the gnomes, they're animated automatons according to the lore. So they're basically robots, which means they have no genitals. And the only way that they reproduce is through cloning. Secondly, because they're robots, they also don't have a soul, apparently. And everything they ever attempt to do blows up in their face. So while they are supposed to be like geniuses, gnomish engineering is characterized by its small percentage chance that it just kills you. And they filled their own home city with radiation in an attempt to kill the Trogs, and it ended up making them stronger and making their city uninhabitable, making them dickless, soulless, pussyless fuck-ups who are bad at everything they do. Anyway, we're going to start this hunter quest. She has you go over and tame a boar, and then you have to go over and tame a mountain lion, and we're going to do just that. And then finally we have to go over and tame a bear. And this is one thing that can be a bit scary with a hardcore hunter, is in order to tame a pet, you have to just let them hit you in the face while you channel the taming ability. So that's definitely why you're going to go try to find beasts that are a few levels lower than you. And with that, we have completed that quest, and we are now able to tame our beasts. And we have our first pet, this bear, which I'm going to name Bear because I forgot that you can name your pets. There's a lot of stuff about the hunter that is still weird to me. It took me a long time to figure out that you had to feed them and train them and stuff. I never even noticed the train pet ability on my first go around on hardcore. Look at this. I tried to dismiss the bear and it didn't work. So I tried again and I right click and go to dismiss and he starts attacking me. So the dismiss pet ability is different from the dismiss right click trigger, which releases him into the wild. And there's some chance he would have killed me here. Look how low he gets me. Try again. Dismiss the pet. Okay, there we go. So I think what happened there is they give you this like taming whip on the hunter quest, and I tamed that bear with that whip. And for some reason, it is not subject to your normal hunter abilities when it's tamed that way, but it is if you retame it with your new taming ability, if that makes sense. And we're going to go in there and start doing some cooking here. And now cooking is also pretty important to the hunter. For the RP element. Not only am I hunting these animals for their leather and to tame them and be my friend, but I'm also hunting them so I can use their meat and feed it to my animal and make them like me. Oh, it's so RP. We are going to head back to Ironforge and level up our leather working, which is now up to 47. Skinning, by the way, is now up to 67, which is pretty great. And we're going to turn in some quests in Ironforge, and that will get us to level 11. First things first, we're level 11, and we're going to head out and find a tent. This is a survival tent, and it is a Turtle WoW exclusive. It's part of their profession called survival. Wow, that's kind of like a theme for this episode. And survival is a profession that's like first aid or cooking and fishing, that everyone can get it. And it makes some weird things. Nothing is that super useful. You can make Murloc flippers to increase your swim speed. You can make a fishing boat that will increase everyone who's on the fishing boat's fishing rating. But those things are almost never used. The reason why people go survival is they want to make this tent. And the tent gives you rested XP at a super high rate. way faster than inns and signing off. People pop up these things outside the cities, and you can get a full bar of rested XP in probably about 5 minutes. Now, to those of you not on Turtle WoW, I could see this seems a bit unfair because the rest of you have to wait. But it's not against the rules on Turtle WoW Hardcore at all, and it's not against the rules in Classic WoW Hardcore. In Classic WoW Hardcore, you would just have to log off at an inn. So I'm going to stand under here and get some rested XP, and that is going to be a trend on the levels going forward. And look at this, my friend Shoki-san, who does great videos of presidents raiding different World of Warcraft things, just happens to be in Ironforge and pops out and finds me waiting out under the tent. Shoki-san is a full Bis Paladin, level 60 with full judgment gear and the Hand of Ragnaros. And he's one of my oldest friends in the world. He literally taught me WoW back in the 2000s. Now, in my last video, I got helped by a level 60. I acted all innocent about it and was like, oh, you know, no harm, no foul, be social, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of a gray area. And some people called me out on the last video saying, that is not a gray area, that is straight cheating. And I thought about it, and yeah, they're right. I cheated. I 100% cheated. Hardcore is a self-inflicted hard mode, right? And one of the rules is you don't get help from high-level players. And if you're going to get help from high-level players, then why play hardcore? That is not the point of hardcore. Hardcore is to play in hard mode and have stakes. And if you're getting help, there are no stakes, and there's not hard mode. I came to this conclusion after I recorded this next section. Oh, actually, do you want to help me with some quests?
Well, yeah, sure, I've got some time.
I'm sorry! Don't hate me! I'm sorry, I cheated. I feel shame deep in my bones. I feel like such a loser right now. I secretly get off on it. But okay, enough of that. So you might remember that Yeti I saw before. Well, there are actually 2 elite Yetis in this area, and I asked Shoki-san to help me kill them so I can get the rewards for the quest. A, it's an asterisk on this character. B, it's not going to matter in the long run. Foreshadowing. After that, I decided to go to Stormwind and quest in Goldshire. Decided I'd prefer to do some low-level quests. In Goldshire, I actually get fishing, and there's part of me that feels like fishing is actually maybe doable. I need food for my animals, right? So fishing will do that. And it's also just very RP. Like, can it be more hunter to be a skinning, leatherworking, beast mastering, survivaling fisherman? I don't think so. And after turning in some delivery quests, killing some beasts, and completing some Goldshire quests, we are going to hit level 12. It's level 12, and we're going to go to the Hunter Trainer and get Mend Pet, Arcane Shot Rank 2, Distracting Shot, and Wing Clip. Okay, now, gotta be honest about level 12. I'm a little embarrassed by what went down here. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was saving up all these boar ribs because I had this recipe to make the beer-basted boar ribs. But then I found out that you could only get the Rhapsody malt you need to make the beer-basted boar ribs from a guy in Dunmurrow. So I decided to go back to Carados so I could make this recipe. While in the tram, I'm going to do the Deep Run Tram Pied Piper quest. And I'm going to enthrall all of these rats and bring them back to the guy for those rat kebabs. Because this level is all about getting meat, apparently. When I get to Carados and find the guy that sells the Rhapsody malt so I can make the recipe, I find out I don't even have enough money to buy the Rhapsody malt I need to make this. So I buy as much as I can. I'm even selling my bandages and stuff. And I have 18 of these ribs and I can only afford 11 malts. So I buy as much as I can. And then I go and make a bunch of these beer-basted boar ribs, which is such a tough thing to say. And then I decide I'm just going to go grind creatures and get stuff to sell until I have enough money to buy more beer so I can make all of my beer-basted boar ribs. But when I go out, I keep fighting more boars because this place is just riddled with boars and they have skin, so I can take the skin. So I fight all the boars, and I get enough money so I can buy the beer, so I can make the beer-basted boar ribs. But while killing all these boars, I've collected even more ribs, and now I'm in this infinite cascade where I'm killing boars to get money to buy the beer so I can make the beer-basted boar ribs, and then I'm getting more ribs, so I need more money to get more beer to make more boar-basted boar bibs. Gah! But let me just point out, Bear is so happy through all of this. I'm making him so much meat while I'm losing my mind trying to make a beer-boasted boy bib. Somehow I've been trapped in a layer of hell where the only thing I'm thinking about is getting beer to make ribs and getting ribs to make ribs with beer. What the hell is going on with me? But I realize there's a way out of this cycle. You see, there is a guy that sells Rhapsody Malt in Loch Modan, and I have a quest that takes me to Loch Modan, so I'll get money for completing the quest, and I can go quest somewhere else instead of here. So now I'm going to Loch Modan so I can continue this infuriating cycle. Okay, and this is maybe the worst part of the whole thing, is that I get to Loch Modan, I make one more beer-basted boar rib, and then I do not have any footage of dinging to level 13 or any of level 13. I don't know what happened to it. I think I hit record and then hit the space bar or something and accidentally hit unrecord because I have a couple of videos that are just like 10 seconds from around the day. So I think that's what happened. So no resolution here. Just imagine that I did it, and I quested Loch Modan, and I made the money, and then I dinged 13, and I dinged 14, and now we're going to go to level 14. We're here more than halfway through level 14, and I am heading back to Stormwind and Goldshire, having successfully finished all of the questing over in Loch Modan, apparently. I also have a bag full of 38 beer-basted boar ribs. Ooh. While in Stormwind, I'm going to level up a bunch of my professions, and I'm now making heavy linen bandages, apparently. Oh. And I'm now a journeyman leather worker and a journeyman cook from making all of those boar ribs. I've gained a few new abilities at level 14, most notably Scare Beast, which will fear away a beast. I'm probably not going to use that very often, so we'll just shelve that for now. For some reason, in the quest log, it shows me that all of the quests in Goldshire are still green. So I go there even though I don't know if they are or if there's something different about the quests in this area. All of the mobs are far underleveled. I go into the Jasper Lode mine and I go fight those some bears and wolves in the area. Everything is gray and not giving me experience points. But the missions are giving me a couple hundred each when I turn them in. So I do that, and I turn in missions in Goldshire for a while, finish them pretty quickly, and then head down to the lumber yard to continue doing quests that are definitely under my level there. But this level, it looks like I'm playing it very safe, fighting mostly gray mobs and green mobs in a low-level area, and I'm just going to turn in some quests and ding my way to 15. We're level 15, and that means we have all 5 points into deflection, giving us plus 5% to parry, and we're going to be able to move on to something else here. Now, we do have some options, but I decided to stay in that first tier and go with improved slaying, which is going to give us plus 1% in damage and critical damage to humanoids and beasts, thanks to the Turtle WoW improvements. Level 15 is going to be a lot of the same. We're going to continue questing in Elwynn Forest and do just about every single quest in this entire area. But again, you can see in my PF quest, it looks like all the quests are gray, but I'm still getting experience points. So I don't really know why I was doing this. I guess I was just playing it safe. But it kind of got clear to me why when I got over to the Hogger and Knoll quests. Because being able to walk into this area and not be afraid of them at all, I'm sending my bear into a group of 4, and I'm clearing out camps so easily. And when you're playing hardcore, it is pretty nice to not be afraid for a change. And our bar is almost full. We are almost to level 16, and there is one quest left in Elwynn Forest, and that is Hogger. Some people call Hogger the first boss fight of World of Warcraft. Is an elite mob that you get a quest to fight right here. There he is. Level 11. Many hardcore players have died to this very mob. And I'd say, hey, bitch, what the dude, she took fucking Hugger. And I'm just noticing that she asks for help in chat, but I was kind of so mad that she took Hogger that I just sat there and watched her struggle. Okay, whatever. All right, we're going to head to Westfall, and I'm going to ding just by discovering new area. Thank you, Sentinel Hill. We're level 16. We're going to get Immolation Trap, Mongoose Strike, and Raptor Strike level 3. We're going to head back and hand in this quest. The only reason I want to mention is because we're going to get this woolen cape and this woolen hood, and it is going to define our appearance for quite a while. Oh, it looks so huntery. We're going to head back, and we're going to fuck up Hogger. Send bear in, and it's going to be an unceremonious beating. He's not even going to finish my bear before I take him down. We're going to head back to Sentinel Hill. Oh my god! Oh my god, there's just a level 60 horde right there on the flight path. That is terrifying. Then we're going to head out into Sentinel Hill, and you can see here on my map just how many things in this area we have to collect and kill. So we are going to go out into Westfall and fucking kill everything! Kill them all! Kill them all! Ah! And then the guitar comes in with the meedly strings. Meedly. And the drums come in, shaking. Real quick, I'm sorry, I want to talk about these gnolls over here. So Riverpaw scouts, I'm fighting them, and there's like this one camp over here, and these guys are pretty low level 11, level 12. But this fight does get a little crazy, and they get close to killing Bear, but he survives on 10 health, comes back, we mess up that whole camp. We're feeling good. I decided it's time to catch another pet, because I don't know if you know this about Hunter, but the way you train your pet is you have to catch another pet and have them learn the ability, and then you can teach it to future pets. And since we've eaten so many ribs at this point, I'm part pig, I decide it's time to catch a boar. I realize I can name pets now, and I'm going to name this pig Spoink, because it's fun to say and it fits. And we're going to head out and start our murder. We're going to kill everything in Westfall! And we will collect some oats. And that'll be level 17. Hashtag metal nerds. We're at level 17, and we're going to do a lot of the same like we did in level 16, but I'm not going to do any of that metal stuff again, even though it was fun, and even though this quest is called The Killing Field. So, no, I'm not going to do it, okay? Not going to do it. It's metal. It's very metal, but we're done. That bit is dead. On an unrelated note, I just want to say, guys, hey, how are you doing? Hope you're doing good. And like really good, like good down to your bones. Not like that kind of good you just say when you just don't want the person to really know how you're doing. Yeah, you know, I used to struggle with depression a lot. And I feel like in the gaming community, there are a lot of people who were like me who struggled with depression and struggled with motivation. And, you know, I got through it. And I just wanted to let you know that if you're not doing great, or you feel bad, or you feel a sense of existential dread, or maybe you just don't feel joy in your day-to-day life anymore, give yourself a good, strong dose of unconditional love for yourself. Seriously, it can change your life. And we, as the people around you, want you to have it. We want you to love yourself. A lot of us, we put up these walls and we say, well, I would love myself more if I was like blank, if I made more money, or if I got a better job, or if I looked better, or lost weight, or gained weight, or whatever. But you don't need to add these conditions onto self-love. You can be enough for yourself at all times, forever. The love you have inside of you is infinite. It is endless. It's never going away. You're never going to run out, and you are allowed to do it. Anyway, one other thing I want to mention about Westfall is Turtle has added this awesome quest chain called the Harvest Golem Mystery. The Harvest Golem Mystery delves into the history of how the Harvest Golems got there, and they've added the creator of the Harvest Golems as part of the quest line in Westfall. It's a long quest line that I absolutely love, and I think it's not only one of my favorite additions Turtle has done, but maybe one of my favorite classic quests I've ever done. It's far too long to be done right now, but we're going to continue to do it as we progress. Eventually get to the point where you have to kill Van Cleef. So we'll get there eventually. And we're going to head down to the beach and kill some Murlocs to collect some Murloc eyes. Oh, they took out Spoink. Okay, well, I'm okay though. Wow, they also caught me in a net there. That could have been bad, but we're all right. Yeah, these Murlocs that also have the crabs, they can be a little bit troublesome. The crabs are all pretty weak, but those extra few mobs when you pull a group is actually really terrifying. So I did not think I was going to pull this whole group when I sent in the boar here, but you can see a whole bunch of these crabs just flock Spoink and immediately kill him. So I book it away, but they actually follow me pretty far. I pop a minor healing potion, pretty confident that I can get away from that single crab, and everything ends up okay, but I gotta be careful around these Murlocs. So while I was doing this, I couldn't help but notice that I have killed so many boars on Catmandu. Turtle is doing a new kind of hardcore mode called the Hambringer Challenge, where you can only get XP from killing boars. And I kind of thought that was impossible until I was reviewing the footage and saw just how many boars I've killed. All right, and we're gonna head back to the
Killing fields
and kill some harvest golems, and that will be level 18. We are level 18, and we are going to head back to Stormwind to get our new abilities, which are going to be Aspect of the Hawk rank 2, Multi-Shots, and Serpent Stink rank 2. I was going to get Track Undead, but frankly, I couldn't care less about that ability. Multi-Shot, definitely the best of the bunch there. We're going to return to Westfall, finish our long grind of boars and robots, turn in the remaining quests, and then head out east to Red Ridge Mountains. We're going to come over here, we're going to grab all the quests in Red Ridge, which are a weird group of quests. I was going to do some bit about how, like, I wish I could just stand around with an exclamation point over my head and somebody would go get me 10 hamburgers. But then I realized that actually is a thing today with DoorDash. Anyway, Red Ridge is a weird area. It's all split up by Lake Everstill, and there's kind of like 3 quadrants. You've got the eastern side, the northern side, and the southern side. These areas, safe to quest in. Then when you get out here, this starts getting real dangerous. And when you get over here, this is all elite. And when you get up too far north here, you start getting into deep cave systems with almost no safe escape, and it gets very dangerous. But then this whole area down here is actually quite safe. Then you got the lake itself, which has elite Loch Ness monster creatures in the middle, surrounded by Murlocs in tough areas. So Red Ridge can be a dangerous area if you drift off into these other zones. But we're going to stay in the outer rim here and do what? Oh my god, we're going to kill boars. Can you believe it? We're going to grab Hillary's necklace and bring that back to her, and then head out east to start killing some mongrels in the safe zone, and that will be level 19. We are level 19. I've put the talent point from level 18 and 19 into Savage Strikes, increasing the critical strike chance of Raptor Strike in Mongoose Bite by 10%. Thinking back on the improved slaying ability, I realize now it's probably pretty damn terrible, because it increases your total damage to beasts and humanoids by 3% total. Also your critical strike damage by 3%. But, you know, we're doing somewhere around 30 damage on average. So 3% of that is 1 damage at best. And even on a crit, you're probably looking at like 2 to 3 extra damage. That's just really not enough in the early game. Like, it's really negligible. Looking back, I think improved wing clip could have been the safer bet there, because sometimes the improved wing clip might be what we need to get away from a mob, but I don't know. Speaking of I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to fight Belly Grub here. So I send in Spoink, but that taunt gets immediately resisted, and in like 2 hits, Belly Grub has me down below half health. I pop a minor healing potion, but she keeps hamstringing me. I run into town, and there is no guard there to save me. And Spoink goes down pretty fast after getting off a successful taunt, but I'm halfway through town. I think there's no way Belly Grub is coming. Oh my god, get the hell out of here! Whew. So, I mean, that was pretty close. I could have died there. Thankfully, I survived. I want to talk quickly about this southern Murloc tribe location, because I believe this is the best and safest place to farm the Murlocs if you're going to be doing that quest where you're getting the spotted sunfish. It's on the southern side of the lake, and it is the closest to land. It's kind of mostly is on land. Nearby, there's also mobs for other quests like the vultures and the boars and the spiders. All in all, if you're farming Murlocs, this is the safest place with the most control for you. Let's compare it to the camp I would say is the second most difficult, but also the second easiest. And you can see why these Murloc camps are kind of dangerous. They're surrounded by mountains. So you only have really 1 to 2 angles of attack that you can do. The safest is where I am right now, where your back is to the town and you kind of have an escape route. But like right there, I couldn't see that there was a second Murloc under the water. I should have had the visual health bars on. And I'm really going to just try to focus on picking out any Murlocs that are isolated, and that's going to go just fine. Over here, there's Oslo's toolbox in the sunken chest, and I decided to risk it. I thought I could open it with enough breath here, and I was a little bit wrong as I swim by a gravestone of someone who definitely drowned trying to do what I just did.
We've managed to avoid drowning. Good job.
The thing you get from the Murlocs is a spotted sunfish. I mentioned before that I had been seriously considering doing fishing on my hunter. So since you can get the spotted sunfish also from fishing in the area, I decided to give it a chance. Holy shit, this is boring. Oh my god. I mean, I've been playing WoW a long time. I knew fishing was boring, but I don't know, maybe it's just that 20/20 kind of attention span. I cannot pay attention to this friggin' thing. My eyes are just like constantly darting to my second monitor like, oh, maybe just one Reddit post? No, you gotta click it. They want you to stare at this thing for 30 freaking seconds, and then you don't even catch the fish. So you just go like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? So I'm gonna say fuck that to the fishing. I'm going to go over and kill some more Murlocs. And one other thing I got to talk about with the Murlocs is they drop these barnacled clams, right? And these things are so freaking annoying because it's like they just fill up your bags, and then when you fill them up, you try to open them, but there's clam meat inside, but they won't let you grab the clam meat because your bags are full of the clam shells, and you got to get rid of the clam shells in order to make room for the meat. But like, just swap them out. Just swap them out. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. And it's while we are clearing these Murlocs that we are going to ding to level 20. We're level 20. So what did we learn in the teens? Well, I think what I've learned is grinding is your friend, but it won't pick you up at the airport. And what I mean by that is grinding is probably the safest way to get to level 60 in hardcore. I've been thinking about it a lot, and if you break it down, getting to 60 is actually not that hard. It would just require more patience and time if you're willing to just grind low-level, low-risk mobs for a much longer period of time. It is for that reason that grinding is a safe and productive way to level up a hardcore character. But getting to level 60 should not be your top priority. Having fun should be. I'm going to be grinding less and questing more. And while I respect someone that can grind for extended hours, I just don't have that patience or that time. While I will grind sometimes, I'm going to put more energy into quests and having fun, even though it might not be the optimal thing to do. Thank you so much for watching the video. Join me next time for level 20 to 30 is what I would have said, but then I died, okay? I fucking died at level 20, and I was gonna put that in this video, but it's just taking me way too long, and I have like a lot of shit I wanna talk about it. I wanna break down every freaking little fucking detail of this thing. So, okay, so I'm gonna do another video. I'm gonna try to get it out next week because hopefully it won't be as long as this video. But if you want to see the death of Catmandu, come back next Thursday and I will put out the death of Catmandu. Fucking Murlocs, man. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you.